Tim had always known his wife was shy. It was one of the things that had turned him to her. The way she blushed at the smallest compliment, the way she stammered when asking him simple questions, the way she would rather run away than meet his intense gaze for too long. It was cute, really. But after 6 months of marriage, there was just one teeny problem. She was still too shy to touch him. He wasn't complaining. Okay, maybe he was, but he had been patient, waiting for her to get comfortable with him. But at this rate, he was starting to think it might take years before she even voluntarily held his hand for a longer than 3 seconds. And then there was his grandmother. You two are still acting like a stranger, Grandma huffed, watching Ryan set the table in her usual tenors and silence. Back in my days, newlyweds couldn't keep their hand off each other. Wine turned bright red, nearly dropping a spoon. He signed, already sensing trouble. Grandma, please. Nonsense. Grandma waved a hand timidly before presenting a large steamy bowl of soup. Why, dear, try this. It's an old family recipe, very special. Whenever the polite granddaughter-in-law nodded and obediently took a sip, Tim found his brow. Something about his grandma's milk setting off alarm in his head. Wait a second, what is in that? But it was too late. Wine had already finished the entire bowl. It started stably. First, Wine giggled, not her usual soft, nervous giggle. No, this was a bold, almost mysterious laugh. Tim shuddered, turning to look at her. Then she leaned closer. She was dangerously sweet. You are so handsome. He nearly choked. His wife had never said that to his face before, and she certainly had never looked at him like that, all creamy eyes and playful lips. Wine, are you feeling okay? He asked carefully. She signed dramatically, more than okay. In fact, before he could react, she reached for him, placing her hand on his chest. He so left his body. His wife was touching his chest. Voluntary? What was happening? Grandma, watching from the kitchen, sneaked to herself. Young love. Things listed fast. By the time they got home, Wine was practically stuck to him. She whined, poking his cheeks. You are so pretty. Thank you, he stammered, completely lost. Tim had never been more confused in his life. He stood at the door of their bedroom, staring at his wife, who was now pacing back and forth like a tiger on the hunt. Okay, calm down, Wine, he said, holding his hand up. We need to talk. This is not you. She pouted, too pretty. I should hide you so no one else looked at you. Wine, before he could say another word, she suddenly gasped as if she had just realized something important. Wait, her eyes pointed. We are married. Yes, so that means she clapped her hand exactly. I get to see you without your shirt on. His shy, angelic wife, who used to get flattered at the idea of holding hand, was now eyeing him like a woman on a mission. Okay, that's it. What was in that soup? He muttered, half panicked, half terrified. I don't know, wine should be happily, but I feel great. Then she grabbed his hand, tugging him toward the bedroom. Wine, wait, let's talk about this first. Nope, she grinned, husband shut off. Tung had never prayed harder in his life. Tung had always been a composed man. He handled business deal with ease, faces cameras without blinking, and even stay calm when grandma came nagged him about grandkids. But this, his normally shy, soft-spoken wife demanding he take his shirt off like some kind of feral woman. This was a careless wine, he said carefully, taking a slow step backward as she advanced. You are not acting like yourself. She whimped around, eyes sparkling with an unreal confidence. Oh, but it is me. It's just the new me. She twirling lock of hair around her fingers. And I am loving it. I don't know what you drank, but I am starting to think it wasn't just soup. Thing was cracked, silent in panic. Wine gave him a teasy smile, taking a few steps toward him. Oh, don't be shy. You know how long I have been wanted to do this. His heart escaped it as she moved closer, her hand now trailing up his chest boldly. This was the woman who just a few hours ago had barely been able to hold his hand for longer than a few seconds. Now she was making him feel like he was the shy one. Wine, what happened to you? He stammered, taking a step back. You were so shy, so... Sweet innocent, she interrupted, her voice dipping with a playful mystery. Well, now I am all grown up, darling. She reached for his tie, losing in his entirely confident manner. So are you ready for a new me? Tim could barely breathe. He had no idea what was going on, but it was too much, too fast, too intense. He was catching a whirlwind of emotion. Wine wasn't done though. She gave him a shyly grin before adding, in fact, I have been dying to kiss you. Before he could even react, she pulled him into a kiss. It was not the gentle, shy pick he was used to. It. No, this was a fire. She was hungry for him, pressing her body against his, her lips moving with a confidence that shattered his entire perfection of her. Wine, but she wasn't hearing it. With a darling move, she slipped her hand under his jacket, tugging it off. In one swift motion, things stood there froze. What the hell is happening? He thought, half in daze. Why so serious? She whispered in his ear, her breath hot against his skin. Let me have some fun. Her hand slid down to his shirt. Don't worry, darling, I know exactly what I am doing. He tried to keep his cool, but there was no stopping. The way of embarrassment waving over him. His wife had never been like this. He didn't know if he should be running for the hills or joining. Before he could make a decision, he suddenly heard a faint giggle for the other side of the room. Then Grandma turned to see her standing in the doorway watching the cross unfold with a gleam in her eyes. Well, Grandma smirked. Looked like the soup worked. The young eyes went wide and jumped in front of Wine if he protect her from the embarrassment. Grandma, what did you put in that soup? Grandma chuckled and shook her head, clearly entertained by the whole scene. Nothing harmful, dear, just a little herbal boost. Something to help both of you lose a boost. He felt the blood drain from his face. He was not prepared for this. Fine, meanwhile, was giggling behind him, her fingers still playing, tracing his back. I like this version of me. Maybe we should keep the soup in the pantry for special occasion. When he gone, his face bright red, he turned to Grandma, who was still cracking in the doorway. Grandma, this is too much. But Grandma only shrugged. A little excitement is good for the soul. You will thank me later. Trust me, I don't know about later. But right now, I think I'm gonna need a drink. Just as Tim tried to compose himself, Wine tugged on his arm, her voice soft yet teasing. You are so cute when you are flustered. Wine, please, he said desperately. I need you to stop. But she wasn't listening. With the mysterious grin, she leaned in closer, her lips brushing in ear. I am just getting started. Tim was fighting for his life. His own steamy, soft-spoken wife had turned into a fearless fraud, and now she wouldn't let go of him. If that wasn't bad enough, his grandmother was still in the room watching everything unfold like it was her favorite K-drama. Grandma, you have to fix this, he pleaded. Wine whisked before she could start unbuttoning his shirt. Grandma only smirked. Fix what? Seems like the problem was fixed already. Fixed. His voice cracked. She just tried to undress me in front of you. Grandma shrugged, completely unfazed. I have 6 kids, dear. Nothing surprised me anymore. He groaned, dragging a hand down his face. I can't believe this is happening. Meanwhile, while completely unaffected by his dress, was busy in running her finger along his shoulder, humming in approval. I have ever told you how perfect your shoulders are. He choked on air. Wine, he hissed, trying to pry her off him, but she just tightened her lips, then just stick close to his neck. You smell so good, she sighed dreamily, like expensive. Alright, that's it. We need to get you to bed. No, like that. He quickly added, Wine being on her brow. I mean, you need to sleep this off. But I feel amazing. She whined again at his tie again. And I finally understand now. Why would I ever be shy with you? You are my husband. I should be worshipping you. No. He panicked, lifting her bridal style. Before she could say anything worse, he shot his grandma a desperate look. You did put an antidote in the That's soup, right? Grandma just laughed. Oh, don't be dramatic. It will wear off on its own. When? In a few hours, maybe a day. Who knows? Thing looked like he was about to faint a day, but before he could argue, one suddenly taps in his arms. Wait, she clapped her hand excitedly. Tung, let's dance. He blinked. What? Dance? She beamed. Right here, right now. When we are in middle of crisis. But she was already swinging her hips, pulling his arm around her as if they were in some romantic ballroom scene. Come on, she pouted. Be my prince. Taehyung was exhausted. When I love you, he said, rubbing his temple. But if you don't stop this, I'm going to lock myself in the bathroom until this soup wears off. One gaps. No, you can't. Watch me. She panicked and did the only thing she could think of, to tackle him on the bed. Tim yelled as he landed on his back, one stealing his waist. Okay, this is illegal, he breathed. His face shaking. Someone call the cop. I've been in my own house. One only smirked down at him, running his hand through his hair. Oh, but officer, I am just getting started. At the moment, they knew one thing for certain. He was never drinking Ganma's soup again. Ting barely slept at night. Not because of anything scandalous. No, he had spent the entire night running from his old fanfiction wife. Every time he tried to hide, she found him. Every time he tried to reason with her, she would trap him in Felice's hug, her hand wandering place that made his soul leave his body. At the point, he had actually locked himself in the bathroom only for her dramatically declare, if you don't come out, I will break the door down. One in her normal state would rather die than say such thing. At around 4 a.m., she finally crashed, struggling against him, mumbling about how perfect he was before passing out completely. He lay there, standing at the ceiling, his mind fried. This was the longest night of my life, he whispered. The next morning, Wine woke up feeling strange. Her head was pounding, her body felt exhausted. And wait, why was she hugging him so tightly? Her hand were on his chest, his bare chest. Was she hugging them so tightly? Her hand on his chest, his bare chest. Oh God, why this? He tie wrapped around her waist like some kind of her brain was shut down. Slowly she picked up Taehyung, who was already awake, staring at her with the most tired, traumatized expression. Her stomach dropped. Good morning, he said flatly. Why do you look like you have been through a war? Oh, I don't know, he said, rubbing his temple. Maybe because my shy wife spent the entire night her body went red. What? You don't remember? He gave her look, but displayed past horror. Panic crept into Van Vane's. Wait, what do you mean? What happened? He took a breath. Then very slowly he said, you drank Garma soup. Honester, and? And then he continued, you transform into some kind of bloody demon. Her jaw dropped. You conquer me, you chase me, you try to underdress me and multiple times. One slap, a hand over her mouth. No. Oh yes, she felt lightened. Tell me you are joking. I wish I was.